This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there, live.
Wrestling fans from around the corner and around the world, welcome to a special Saturday night bonus edition of Wrestling Insider's Current Events. This is Dan Mirade. We will discuss all of the results, news, and notes from the Friday, November the 6th, 2020 edition of WWE SmackDown underneath the Thunderdome at the Amway Center in Orlando, Florida. What a week it was. I missed SmackDown Live this week. I had to utilize the old DVR. I was off on a meeting with DB. I did not realize that all of the Boston restaurants had closed early. I thought that rule, if you're here in Massachusetts, went into effect tonight. But no, they threw old Marty a curveball. All the restaurants now, you have to be seated by 9 p.m., and unfortunately I was late, and unfortunately I had to dine at Sonic, which is a different story for a different time. I did not have the tater tots or a slush like the two gentlemen that are in the Sonic commercials more often than not. As you can tell, I am all alone this week. Matt Degnan has a sore throat after the weekend we had with Leo Rush. Dave Carter is a man that is very busy with his hobbies on Saturdays. As a result of all of that, I'm not sure. I'm fairly certain at this point, though, that the AEW Full Gear Watch-Along will not take place. That's a disappointment, but with all of the technical issues that come along with the Watch-Along, it requires several people to be on set. If I'm the only one here and I have to try and fix a technical problem, that means you folks look at the beautiful set we have here at MWF Studios, and I'm not really a big fan of that. Sometimes you got to bite the tongue. I don't know. Matt Degnan had to dash Leo Rush to Southwestern Connecticut yesterday afternoon, and that sore throat all of a sudden popped up. And then again with Dave, he's always busy in the early part of the weekend, so it's just yours truly. With the work ethic I have, I didn't want to let anyone down, so I figured I'd do this episode all by myself. But before I begin, this is a statement that is for anyone that aspires to be involved full-time in the world of professional wrestling. It is not a genre for everyone. Beyond the physical abuse that goes along with in-ring competition, it is mentally taxing. It takes up a lot of your time if you're going to do it right. Again, as I've noted many times, I was blessed to be broken into wrestling by the late, great Boston bad boy, Tony Rumble, who promoted the CWA and later NWA New England. After he passed away, I was able to work with Ed Cohen of WWE, one of the first two employees that Vince and Linda McMahon hired when they took over the company from Vince McMahon Sr. Ed oversaw, at times in the 80s, over 1,000 live events annually. Again, I'm going to say that for the wrestlers that claim to be overworked in this day and age in WWE, 1,000 live events annually. And after that WWE stint, we created the Millennium Wrestling Federation as two young, crazy guys in our early 20s. And then the parent company, Boston Wrestling Sports, with so many input from so many great people, including the late, great Paul Bearer. I feel I owe it to all of those people to try and do things the right way, even if it isn't the easiest way or the most convenient way. On very little sleep from being here late last night and having that meeting at Sonic, here I am again early in the morning on a beautiful, beautiful mid-fall Saturday morning. On the flip side, I do not think the AEW Full Gear Watch-Along will be happening tonight. Again, as I've noted, it takes too much on the technical side to try and do it with just one person trying to host the Watch-Along with everything going along with it. On the flip side, on better news, we have a watch-along slated for Thanksgiving Eve that I think will more than make up for having to miss tonight's Full Gear show. Who knows? Maybe Dave will show up and we'll wind up having the Full Gear watch-along. I don't know. I'm not optimistic. It's not the end of the world, because instead I'm going to give you the earlier NXT AEW podcast, which you may have already heard, which is a couple of days late due to the Lio Rush invasion we had here at the studio this week. But the SmackDown episode is right on time, where it belongs. The times, they are a-changing, folks, literally, as I noted earlier during the AEW and NXT review. Yahoo News broke that Joe Biden has enough electoral college votes to become the president of the United States now. Isn't that something? I'm sure that probably about a little more than 50% of the country is very happy right now. 50% of the country is going to be livid. I know Melrose can be a dangerous place late at night. You know, there are 3 pizza places in this city and a couple of hair salons, so hopefully they're going to board up in case there's any peaceful protests that go awry. I'm just kidding. There's no chance of that happening in Melrose. I couldn't tell you how little of a chance. But anyway, the times, they are a-changing, not for Joe Biden and Donald Trump, but for all of our weekly talk shows. We're getting a little bit of a face-over, just to try and keep everything in line at the same time, due to the fact that we have to have John Cena's program air after SmackDown, or it would be airing at the same time as SmackDown. We reverse things a little bit. Let me kind of give you the updated schedule as is. Sunday and Monday mornings at 10 a.m., we have Wrestling Insider flashbacks for your wrestling enjoyment. Tuesday nights at 9 p.m., we'll have the WWE Raw review, followed at 10 p.m. by Wrestling Insiders at Your House with WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas. On Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. for a limited time, after WWE NXT and AE Dynamite go off the air, I'll be joined by the soon-to-be 26-year-old piece of gold, Lio Rush, for Wrestling Insider's Rush Hour, a limited series we're anxious to see your reaction to. The better the reaction, the more we're going to be seeing of Lio in the future. We love the veterans, the Hall of Famers, the legends here in Boston wrestling. We also need some young blood, too. We need to keep growing the family. We need to get as many eyeballs on what we do as humanly possible. Lio certainly has a tremendous story to tell, not just from inside the squared circle, but from a human point of view. The first full episode that we release, it is one that will pull on the strings of your heart, I believe. On Thursdays at 9 p.m., we have the AEW Dynamite and WWE NXT review program. Thursdays at 10 p.m., we have Wrestling Insiders, Party with Marty, as Marty Jannetty continues his no-holds-barred sex, drugs, and rock and roll trip through professional wrestling in the 80s and 90s. Marty's programs are must-see TV. It's almost like Pringles. Once you try one, you can't stop. You have to keep watching, wondering what is going to come out of Marty's mouth next. Friday night at 10 p.m., when the lights at the Thunderdome in Orlando go down, John Cena Sr.'s dome is just heating up on Wrestling Insider's Fabulous Fridays, where the former WWE Raw main eventer shares his unique perspective on the world of professional wrestling. Then Saturdays, 10 a.m., we have a Wrestling Insider's flashback for you. And at 9 p.m., we review WWE SmackDown. As always, that's just the tip of the iceberg. We'll have live and pre-taped watch-alongs. We have bonus editions of Wrestling Insiders, such as Vicky Guerrero joining us Survivor Series Sunday. All of the live guests we're going to have for the duration of the Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive and more. The record-setting growth we've seen in September and October is thanks to you, our great fans. And in some cases, not even great fans, but our friends. And in some cases, not even our friends, but our extended family members. From my family to your family, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for sharing the links to all of these great shows on your social media and telling your wrestling friends about it. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up button. Thank you for subscribing to the free channel where you have access to over 2,000 videos. It really means a lot. It's actually starting to show. There was at one point, maybe a year and a half ago, where I was starting to get frustrated with the lack of growth, but it has exploded in 2020. If something has gone right for us with the disasters that have gone along with the live events, the live in-ring wrestling events we had planned, it has certainly been the growth on the video side. And with that, said, ladies and gentlemen, let's break down the November 6th, 2020 edition of WWE SmackDown underneath the world-class, award-winning Thunderdome at the Amway Center in Orlando, Florida. Again, I missed this one live as I had a top-secret meeting that was attempted to take place at a restaurant in Massachusetts. You got to be in by 9, so it turned into a Sonic visit. Again, different story for a different time. Opening contest, Sasha Banks retains the SmackDown's Women's Championship over Bayley. I was happy on DVR to be able to skip the several minutes-long video montage of this women's title feud. I've seen more than enough of it. For whatever the reason, as a babyface, Sasha Banks comes across much prettier than she does as a heel. Am I the only person that thinks that? And I think Sasha's a lovely lady regardless, but I think she's much more beautiful as a face. I don't know if they do something a little different with the hair, if they do something a little different with the makeup, but whatever the case may be, she is a much prettier as a babyface. That has nothing to do with the wrestling aspect of it. Again, I continue to see moves that don't look like they'd crack an egg, or the cosplay style of wrestling doing the Eddie Guerrero and Macho Man moves. That certainly is an eye roller for me. I thought they had a nice series of reversals in this match leading to the finish. I cannot fault hard work, and there was hard work in this match. I can fault the presentation, as I continue to believe that WWE will find the greatest success for their women's division when they give them their own individual televised platform for the current fan base to enjoy and perhaps grow a new set of eyeballs for women's wrestling. As a WWE stockholder, I would like to see that. In the execution department, Sasha walked up the ramp backwards as if she was talking to fans, only to be set up for an ambush by the returning to Carmella. The Carmella-Sasha Banks matches are ones that we appear to be seeing in the near future. They appear on paper to be really bad. They are not matches that this pundit wants to see. One man's opinion. Jey Uso had some heat with Kevin Owens before the commercial break. Jey was getting a coffee. Kevin Owens made a joke that he was getting Roman's coffee. To me, Owens always just comes across as unlikable in whatever role he's in. After the break, the lifeless Kayla Braxton showed a video montage before the simple interview. I don't know why Kayla was needed to start an interview, then go to a several-minute long look at the Jey Uso, Roman Reigns drama, only to come back to her lifeless interview with Jey Uso. I think it could have played better by itself. I didn't like the attitude that she showed towards a professional wrestler, kind of rude or all-knowing. Paul Heyman asked Jey Uso if Roman Reigns approved of the interview, and then he escorted Jey Uso away. The castration of Rey Mysterio continued as he continues to look like a moron standing around a professional wrestling locker room, calling his daughter that he needlessly brings to these wrestling events. Dominic Mysterio reminded him that he actually had a match coming up next and had no gear on. He sent Dominic to get his tights, and then he was attacked by Baron Corbin. After the commercial break, Jey Uso was upset with Paul Heyman that he needs permission, apparently, to do interviews. Heyman brought Roman Reigns out of his private suite to talk to him. Roman said that Jey did need to talk to him first, and if he couldn't find him, that Jey needed to talk to Paul Heyman. He wanted to know what was going on with Kevin Owens. Apparently, Roman had a monitor in his suite. Roman thought Jey was being disrespected, and if Owens disrespects Jey, that means Roman gets disrespected. If Roman gets disrespected, the entire family gets disrespected. I thought this was a fantastic piece of business right here. Fantastic. Roman got tense with Heyman when it was over, saying his job is to know everything and handle everything. He wanted Adam Pearce, and he wanted to handle the Kevin Owens problem tonight. Seth Rollins' boring music hit in the middle of the Rey Mysterio-Baron Corbin match to see who would go on to Survivor Series. Luckily, SmackDown went to a commercial break, and we didn't get a boring promo from Seth. Corbin laid out the overexposed, uninteresting Dominic Mysterio. Ray 619 Corbin, but then Seth Rollins attacked Dominic, who was laid out. For whatever the reason, Murphy and the scantily dressed Elia Mysterio came out. That confused Ray. That allowed Baron Corbin to hit the end of days. When was the last time Baron Corbin did anything of any real interest? Was it when he lost to Elias at WrestleMania, which certainly was a complete waste of Corbin? Just complete and utter nonsense. I don't know what younger fan base this was going to appeal to. It was what it was. Baron Corbin goes on to Survivor Series. In the epitome of nobody cares, Ruby Riott defeated Zelina Vega and Natalya for the Survivor Series SmackDown Tag Team spot. Michael Cole wouldn't even flush his credibility down the toilet on this one, trying to make the match sound good, interesting, or important. There was a creative finish in the match, but still one that no human being had much of an interest in watching. In the back, the Street Profits tried to get scoops on the New Day from Big E as they prepare for their champion versus champion tag team match at Survivor Series. My takeaway was, imagine if Angelo Dawkins, where his career could go, if he could try and get himself into the shape of Big E at the size that Angelo Dawkins is, which has to be probably at least a good 6 inches on Big E. Billie Kay said she could offer info on New Day, where she just came over from Raw. Street Profits noted that they were on Raw with her, so I guess that was a joke gone bad. Billie Kay, certainly one of the most useless characters in WWE right now. We had Seth Rollins' boring music hit for a second time in about 20 minutes as he took on the equally useless presentation of Otis. The Mysterios, without Murphy, decided to watch this match on TV. In a matter of just a couple of weeks, look at poor Otis. He went from being a guy having the power of the Money in the Bank, a world title shot anytime he wanted it. He had a hot woman on his arm in Mandy Rose. He had a friend and his tag team partner, Tucker. And he was absolutely castrated to do what? To do what? And now what do you do with the fucking guy? I mean, an embarrassment. But I didn't expect much from Otis. I guess I'm not disappointed right now. I guess I'm not surprised right now. But just to kill him so quick, that kind of surprised me. Murphy was more interested in this match than he was in a liar, I guess. He came down to the ring to eye Seth Rollins. He distracted Otis. Otis wound up taking the curb stomp for the 3 count. As Seth Rollins advances onto the pay-per-view, the Mysterios nodded like morons around the HDTV, wondering why Murphy would distract Otis. After the commercial break, Murphy called Rollins the disciple, in an angle that no one continues to care about. The scantily clad Elia charged at Murphy, who said she needs to be able to trust him, but Murphy says she has to trust him. He's doing what he's doing for the greater good. Maybe, are we going to see Murphy potentially try and outsmart Rollins and turn on him to try and be the ultimate hero for Elia? Or is Murphy going to go back to the dark side and be one of the boring disciples for the boring Friday night Messiah? Time will tell. Michael Cole did a sit-down interview with Lars Sullivan. This is what Michael Cole does best. He's not a very good commentator as far as getting wrestlers, wrestling matches, wrestling moves, wrestling angles, and wrestling events over, but Michael Cole is great at sit-down interviews and voiceovers. Lars was out of the J.C. Penney polo shirt he had on last week. Instead, he had on his wrestling gear. He was more angry than the lispy, jaw-poking version of him we saw last week. This was an 100% improvement over that presentation. This is the version of Sullivan that's going to make money. On an upcoming version of Wrestling Insider's Rush Hour with Leo Rush, we actually discussed Lars Sullivan as Leo worked with him in WWE NXT. In the main event, Jey Uso with the win over Kevin Owens. Just as Owens was getting the better of Jey Uso, Roman Reigns sent Paul Heyman out to assist. One of the better Owens matches I've seen in a while. It actually held my interest. Hard work from both men in this one. Uso was able to get his foot on the rope following what looked like an intentionally weak pop-up powerbomb. Roman's music hit. Owens was distracted enough for Jey Uso to get the upper hand and fly off that top rope like only he does for the 1, 2, 3. Uso continues to look like a single superstar. Jey Uso looks like he belongs hanging with the big boys. Roman Reigns met Uso at the top of the ramp for some tribal posing as the show went off the air. A lot of interference in matches on SmackDown, but it continued to build to Survivor Series. It continued to build feuds. Granted, I did watch it on DVR, and I didn't sit through the commercials and the highlight videos that I would if I had watched it from 8 to 10 nonstop. But I give this version of SmackDown a 7 out of 10. Very respectable showing, very watchable show. But I have to ask you fans, what did you think of SmackDown on a scale of 1 to 10? If you're watching the Saturday night premiere, simply put it in the premiere box, 1 to 10, what you thought of it, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. If you're not joining us live, put your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget the super chat button is open as my extremely dry mouth now runs through its second podcast without Matt Degnan or Dave Carter to give me a hand to share wrestling thoughts with. It's been a long morning, and the zip code of champion 02176. But before we let you go, fans, again, let's give you the latest news. WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas is expected to be here in studio live 1 week from tonight, Saturday, November the 14th, for a live cyber signing and art show. I was hoping to get my hands on some of his books, but haven't heard back from his book publisher. So that is TBA. I'm a little frustrated, to say the least. 2 weeks from right now, Marty Jannetty will be with us for an entire weekend. He'll have cyber signings both during SmackDown on Friday, November the 20th, and during Survivor Series, Sunday, November the 22nd, as we support our mission to honor Paul Bearer and update Santa Claus's GPS to find every kid's house this Christmas. We have a plethora of new guests that will be joining us for tapings and cyber autograph signings in December. Check out the list at bostonwrestling.com. VIP packages are still available. And don't worry, fans, you don't have to have tuned in at the start with Leo Rush back on November the 5th to get the VIP package. Every star that comes in is going to sign all the pictures, all the posters, and we can get those VIP packages out to you as long as you order by in the ballpark of December the 19th and help do a world of good. Fans, if you want early, full screen, ad-free access to our Wrestling Insiders in-studio shoot interview series every week, if you want access to our world-renowned studio shoot interview DVD library with some of wrestling's greatest legends, and if you want to help keep those wrestling legends working, then brother, let me tell you, these wrestling legends have been out of work for 7 or 8 months at this point. For the price of a coffee at Starbucks, join our Patreon family over at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. Over 100 videos. 100 videos for your viewing pleasure. As the weather gets a little cold, you'll never have the wrestling blues this winter with your friends here at Boston Wrestling. With the holidays coming up, our eBay store is open for business. My buddy Leo Rush and I made promotional videos for you to check out some of the goods you'll be seeing across our social media platforms. Purchasing great, rare, autographed memorabilia from us helps in 2 ways, aside from growing your professional wrestling collection. First, you help us produce the interactive talk show programs that we do, which help keep the legends working. And at this time of year, every purchase helps the Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive as well. This year, the Paul Bearer Cyber Toy Drive, if you will. Link to our eBay store can be found right on bostonwrestling.com or in the description box below. Finally, we have our WWE T-shirt bundle fundraiser going on at bostonwrestling.com/shirts.html, where for the regular price of a shirt at WWE Shop, we give you not only that shirt, but we give you a WWE cup, but we give you a mystery autograph photo and an on-air shout-out from WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas as our thanks to you. It's such a positive thing beyond making a T-shirt purchase. You're really going to be able to help the shows. You're going to be able to help the kids. And you get some bragging rights. I mean, how many people get that on-air shout-out from Tony Atlas that'll live on video forever? Enjoy all of our great content until our next premiere programs, folks, which should be Tuesday night at 9 p.m. when we review Monday Night Raw. Followed up at 10 p.m. as Tony Atlas is back in studio for Wrestling Insiders at your house. Enjoy AEW Full Gear. Let us know what you think of that. Have a great weekend. You and yours. Be well. More important, stay healthy. Good night. Wrestling fans, the 9th annual Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive is here. Coronavirus has been the Grinch in preventing a live wrestling event from taking place in 2020, but November and December will bring you an unbelievable series of live television tapings, raffles, merchandise, and cyber autograph signings, including 2 all-inclusive VIP packages you're not going to want to miss out on. We'll discuss a little later in this video. Let's take a look at this all-star lineup of superstars headed your way for the holiday season. Recent WWE NXT Cruiserweight Champion Lio Rush, who's going to be co-hosting Wrestling Insider's Rush Hour, the miniseries, kicks off our 2020 efforts Thursday, November the 5th. Leo was the first to open his heart to our efforts to keep Paul Bearer's name alive and put smiles on kids' faces. Then on Saturday night, November the 14th, WWE Hall of Famer, Mr. USA Tony Atlas will be with us again, signing autographs, meeting, greeting online, as well as having his renowned artwork available. Friday night, November the 20th, Sunday night, November the 22nd, during our Survivor Series watch-along, former Intercontinental and Tag Team Champion Marty Jannetty will be with us live. When it comes to Marty, expect the unexpected. Early December explodes with brand new superstars coming to MWF Studios for the very first time on Friday night, December the 4th, during WWE SmackDown. Join former Intercontinental Champion and Nation of Domination member Savio Vega, with rumors that the martial arts expert Kwang may join us as well. On Saturday, December the 5th, batten down the hatches, former WWE and WCW Tag Team Champions Brian Knobbs and Jerry Saggs, the Nasty Boys, will be live in studio for which should be an extremely memorable taping and cyber autograph signing. Great chance to get one of the top tag teams of the 80s and 90s together. Sunday, December the 6th, we're going to have an NXT TakeOver watch-along with WWE Hall of Famer Bushwhacker Luke. From 1988 through 1996, Luke had a memorable run in WWE with a career spanning the globe since the 60s. Friday night, December the 11th, one of the most powerful superstars in the history of professional wrestling, the Warlord, joins us in studio, looking back at his big run in the WWF from 1988 through 1992. Saturday night, December the 12th, join us for a rare appearance by a superstar that was undefeated in the WWF for nearly 2 years, Native American Tatanka. We cap it off Sunday, December the 13th, with one of the future stars of professional wrestling, having competed here in Boston Wrestling MWF, more recently in the Ring of Honor Pure Title Tournament, Wheeler Yuta. John Cena Sr. is going to be taking part in a live cyber signing as well, and is working on recruiting even more superstars to join our efforts to update Santa Claus's GPS to find every kid's house in 2020. You never know who or what to expect as we work our magic to create smiles on kids' faces around the globe, around the clock. VIP packages are available now. Early bird pricing through November the 15th. It's limited to 50 fans. The VIP Elite package, that comes with one autograph photo of all 11 featured superstars, plus a bonus Kwang autographed 8x10. It also includes an autographed Paul Bearer Holiday Headlocks Toy Drive 2020 11x17 poster, and a raffle ticket to win a package of WWE NXT 11x14 autographed posters, thanks to our friends at NXT down in Orlando. We also have a standard VIP package that includes one autograph photo of each of our 11 featured superstars, plus a raffle ticket to win a limited edition Drew McIntyre, one of only 36 WrestleMania 36 autographed 8x10 photo from our friends at WWE. If you're not interested in an all-inclusive VIP package, don't worry. Each superstar will be available for individual autographs. Mail order is also available for your own personal items. Don't worry, if you can't join us for all of the live cyber autograph signings that are going to be streaming online, your 8x10 photo will still be signed and mailed to your home. If you get a VIP package after a superstar's signing is already taking place, again, don't worry, they're going to sign plenty for the entire holiday season. Those that purchase individual photos, they'll be shipped right after the signing takes place. The VIP packages will be shipped in one giant package beginning December the 14th. We continue to miss the late, great Paul Bearer each and every day. His heart of gold continues to shine with our annual holiday Headlocks toy drive efforts, and this year, again, will be no exception. 2020, it's been a rough year for all of us, but get ready for a season of Boston wrestling sports memories and legends while putting smiles on kids' faces. In December, that's what it's all about. VIP packages and individual autographs are available now at bostonwrestling.com.